Hi, this is Lascia, lido, mare, infido. This is intervals of a fourth. It's the first part of lesson number 2 in Nicola Vaccai's Metodo Pratico di Canto. And I'll play it through once and then we'll discuss it a little bit. Lascia il lido, il mare, infido, solcar, torna, il nocchiero, e borsa che menzongnero, altre volte lingannò, altre volte lingannò, altre volte lingannò. Oh, I was a little nervous because this is the first one we're doing together. I'm very excited to tell you about this one or how I approach it. Intervals of a fourth are, the next one is intervals of a fifth, and the main thing with jumps, you know, when you're going from a low note to a high note, is just to be ready, is to have the throat in the position you need to have it in for the higher note before you go up there, because if you try to do it once you go up there, if you try to yawn a little and open up on the note, once you're already on the note, it doesn't work that well. So it's sometimes useful to look at a piece like this and you go, okay, what's the highest note in the whole thing? There was a singer, I don't want to say her name because I might be wrong, but I think it was her. Doesn't matter. She said she never liked to go on stage without knowing that the highest note she was going to have to sing all night was ready to go. And I thought that was interesting because some singers do like to warm up on stage a little. Anyway, highest note in this whole thing is an E flat. So I might want to just go a step above an E flat. Then I go back. Lascia il lido, il mare, infido, solcar. Then it's like it's all in place. And I try to keep that shape even when I don't need it on some of the lower notes. That's way too oversimplified for those of you pros out there, but it's the gist of it. So intervals of a fourth are, you know, a pretty good leap, and you have, here's my little musical example. Singers, you may name that tune. I'm going to butcher this. Let's just say this up front. These are in-studio voice teacher little demonstrations. They're not big performances, so don't judge me. But anyway, the fourth in that is a light little lift up. You don't want to and like I said, slam into that upper note. So that's the main point of this one. We'll see more about that in the next one, Avezzo a vivere. But the real reason I love this one to start with, and I'd like to give this, if I have a student who's never sung in Italian, I really like to give them this as a nice one-page introduction to how to sing in Italian. There are a few things that it helps with right off the bat. Of course, the main one is legato, getting that legato line going. Legato is Italian for bound, so one note is bound to the next note. as opposed to staccato, which is separated. One note is separated from the next one, but each one is bound to the next one, so that vowel sound continues to vibrate. And speaking of the vowel sounds, this is a nice way to introduce the way that you can do two vowels in Italian. It's different. We have diphthongs in English, right? So if I say I in English, it's actually two vowel sounds. It's a, e. But in Italian, if I say io, there are two really distinct vowels. And so even when you see, sometimes an I is there to soften a C, as it is in Lascia, so you don't pronounce that I at all. But when you have, for example, lido e il mare, infido, mare in, you have to split those vowels up 50-50, and lido e il mare, you have to split the vowels 50 and then 25-25. So this is a nice one to feel that. You never want to blur them together and make American sounding diphthongs. Let me just say the words for you one time on this one. Lascia il lido e il mare infido, a solcar torna il nocchiero, e pur sa che menzongnero, altre volte lingannò, altre volte lingannò. Yeah? The sailor leaves the shore for the unfaithful sea. It has lied to him before, but he still goes back for more. So that's the gist of it. Another thing this one is good for is the breaths are actually pretty quick in this one. So Lascia il lido e il mare infido, you just have a 16th note there. So get on with it, right? And that's good to practice. I was talking about legato, I was talking about the vowel sounds going vowel to vowel, but you want, in all singing in any language, to sing through the consonants as well. So the consonants are not to be, treated like unwanted second cousins who show up at your door. You need to invite them in, sing through them, vibrate on the M and the N, and some of these consonants are doubled. So let's talk a little bit about how to pronounce these consonants. For example, Lascia, the sh is doubled. And when you have two L's, as in il lido, that produces a double L as well. Lascia il lido e il mare infido. And when you have a short word like a, and then the next word is solcar, the S is doubled. So you have a solcar torna il nocchiero. Same type of thing. You have e pur sa, so that P is going to get doubled. E pur sa che menzongnero. Same thing. Che menzo, that M is going to get doubled. Che menzongnero. And then we have the whole thing of open and closed vowels, which we're going to do a separate thing on the kitchen table series. We're going to have to talk to an Italian teacher and learn about those. For now, it's altre volte. The E is a bit closed. The volte, that O is a bit open. What else did I want to say here about that? That's about it for this one. If you have the Schirmer edition of this one, there are accent marks missing. He has accent marks here. Altre volte lingannò. Then no accents. Altre volte lingannò. Accents. Altre volte lingannò. No accents. So I don't know what they mean. Those accent marks are tough to interpret, and people who tell you they know exactly what they mean, I never trust people like that. Even with Verdi later on, we don't know. But anyway, they have accents. And I think the thing to say right off the bat with all these Vaccai exercises is obviously the intention is also to teach and encourage musicality, interpretation, and expression. So even though this is just an exercise, even though it has a fairly simple text, this is from Metastasio, all these are set to Metastasio. This is from opera Si Face, which was Metastasio's first opera libretto. So have fun with them, be expressive, and go for it. Okay? See you on the next one is going to be a vezzo a vivere.